Hey guys, Ninja Gaming here. Part of basically, or what call it. So, aside from that, I did get to play the Battlefield 1 beta when I had enough time, and I gotta say I really enjoyed it. Now I know it has had some mixed reviews. I think overall it's been fairly positive, but there are definitely some pros and cons I see with the game. In the background here, I have some BF1 beta gameplay. It's actually a lot, and honestly I do kind of terrible, so be prepared for that. It's pretty amateur Battlefield gameplay, but anyway, let's get right into this, shall we? So the first thing I want to talk about was that guy just just rams. I didn't even notice he went out, but whatever. Anyway, so I just want to let's start off with the cons in this game first, because again I do want to keep it so the pros are last, because then you end on a positive note rather than a negative one. So for some cons that I have seen, well, the first thing I would have to say is just the geometry of the map. This is like basically just permanent in the Frostbite engine. You know, you try to jump over, like right there, for example. It just took me a little bit of time to get over that little rock and whatever. That has been in, you know, Frostbite games for a while, you know, and it still exists here in Battlefield 1 too, and there are a few things that I think do need to be fixed, and you'll see at the end here, the last little bit of this gameplay that I have on screen right now, you're going to notice kind of a weird glitch that happened because of the geometry of the map. So I do have my doubts for that, and I just want them to fix it so more people, because the Frostbite engine is only used for, you know, Battlefield games, so a lot of people coming from other, you know, FPS games like Call of Duty may not be used to this as much. Personally, I'm fairly used to it, but again, I feel like they could do better, and they fix it that way as well. They actually made it pretty good. So that's one thing. Another thing I do want to point out just before I move on is the beta have that much stuff in it, so it was kind of hard to say like all the problems with it, because it was just one map and I only unlocked a few of the weapons and it was only 2 game modes. So be aware of that too. I'm not basing this on the full game as well. It is just a beta. So what do I personally, I have fun, but that later. But anyway, with the geometry, no negatives, it's balanced for the classes. Personally, I believe that each gun in any one of the classes can be used in its own way. I believe that it's each guns are used for a certain situation, whether it be long range, short range, and they balance out pretty well with each other. But in terms of class balance with each of the classes, I feel like it doesn't need to be fixed a little bit, because really all anyone uses is the assault class and the scout class. Let's be honest here. I've used the medic, I believe, a lot more than people say they would like to, just because the medic actually, I believe, does have some pretty good guns in it if you know how to use them and just spam fire it, you know. But anyway, so yeah, like problems I see with this is the assault class just has like all the anti-tank things. They have the I didn't even notice that post there. It kind of just like sticks up out of nowhere. I didn't even notice it, so now I'm like, oh well, shit, I kind of did that. But anyway, so what I wanted to say was like the medic class has all this anti-vehicular stuff, but no other class really has that. And then the medic class does have like medical supplies, but it also doesn't have like those anti-tank things, and I don't believe the guns are as good as the assault or scout, which I'll get to in a second here. Support class, I feel like, is just way under every single one. the guns are just, sure, I guess you could say they have like a large magazine, but honestly that's really the only good thing they have about them. I believe in every other category, personally for me, that it is just not as good as any of the other weapons. So I have no idea how I didn't run that guy over. I guess I was maybe, I don't know, but anyway. So I just want to, so that the support class is something that I really think should be either buffed or have one of the other class, like Scout or Assault, nerfed for that matter. Now, so for the Scout class, it's pretty good. Now, there's a debate of whether or not that the Scout class should be nerfed, or if other classes should just be buffed. Personally, I definitely think the support class should be buffed, because I think that it's pretty bad. Now, on those terms, I do want to add something here. Like, there are a few minor glitches that I've seen, you know, but it's really been nothing like crazy that I would say, oh, this is game breaking, oh, this is horrible. Honestly, I think it's pretty stable, and I think most of the hate for the beta actually just comes from like other places, other FPS games that just haven't played Battlefield yet and don't really know like kind of all the glitches and stuff, if you know what I'm saying by that. So I honestly think that it still is pretty stable, especially for a Battlefield game at launch, because we all remember like Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 4's launch. But so I actually do think that like Battlefield 1 does have a pretty stable launch, and it is working well, at least for now. But one thing that I did want to add here is the whole debate of the capture points for Conquest. Personally, I believe that it could be this way for Battlefield 1's launch, but I don't really mind, is basically what I'm trying to say. If you don't know, this is basically the whole gist of it. It's back in like BF4, BF3, it was all about killing and taking the objective. So you get a certain amount of points for taking the objective, and then like, you know, more points for killing and whatnot. And basically where the problem what came from this is in Battlefield 1, or sorry, I should start off with this. In BF4 and BF3, killing meant you lost tickets for your team. So if you died and respawned, actually, it wouldn't be right when you died, but when you respawned, then you would lose tickets for your team. In Battlefield 1, that doesn't do that because the points go up. So you get no negative repercussions if you die and respawn. And people have gotten kind of mad about that, especially veterans of the Battlefield franchise who want it to be back like it was. See, again, geometry right there, you can see that on the screen. But I just want, like, you know, they want to bring it back to what it was before, so people don't, like, they have some strategy involved, and it isn't, like, for example, I'll give just an argument that Levelcat made. He said that no one's going to want to kill each other because they're just going to want to go in the objectives. But see, this is where I disagree with that statement. It's like, okay, they're not going to want you to go on that objective, so they're going to kill you because that's the only way that they can. They can't like push you out of the way, you know. So I think they're going to kill you anyway because they want the points. So I disagree with that. But on the other hand, you can kill yourself and respawn and have no negative repercussions, and I think that should be fixed a little bit. So I don't know, really, honestly, if they kept it the same way. I wouldn't think that this is like a horrible thing, like Levelcap is saying it is, but I would also, I guess maybe prefer if they changed. There's also this glitch too, where you put on your gas mask and then it but yeah, and but personally, I do not think that Battlefield 1 is so far. It's actually isn't as bad though, and I kind of want to explain this a little bit. This is another thing I just have my opinion on. I don't know why I decided to put in this video, but I'm just like, screw it. Is the new like YouTube thing, the new YouTube content. Context, I should say. It's not like if you say like fuck or shit or whatever in a game, like I'm automatically now going to be banned because I said that. That's not what they're saying. I will read it to you. This is exactly what it says. It says inappropriate language, including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language. Now this is a little bit. They didn't explain the whole gist of it. What they mean by that is in an offensive way. For example, you are a fucking faggot. Let's just say that, right? They don't want that. And I'm perfectly with that. I don't like people calling people that either, you know. So, that I think is taken out of context. What I don't like, though, is this. Controversial, sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. That's censorship. That's what censorship is. They need to not do that. Okay, YouTube, I have no idea what you're doing. Honestly, I have no idea. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Your site's so successful. I don't know why they decided to do that, but anyway. So back on with BF1. Now these are the pros for the last minute. I'll do the pros here. Pros. What I just love about it is, first of all, the destruction. Destruction's amazing. Great launch, and I think there's just so much more better stuff. There's so much more pros than cons in Battlefield 1, at least so far. So I think Battlefield 1 is great in that aspect. You know, I think that in terms of just like the launch is just gonna be great. I think that now one other pro I think I need to put in is just of like customization for like World War I. And like I said, I only played on 2 modes. And with like barely any weapons, you know, equipped, I didn't unlock like all the weapons. And the fact that I had so much fun playing it, I think really something about the longevity of the game out. And I cannot wait to play it, and I will play it. Here's a little bug here. I don't really know what happened. I just kind of slipped and fell and just smashed right against the corner of the wall. But anyway, like I said, I've had really fun playing the game, the beta. Anyway, so I cannot wait to play the real game. So, Gingy Gaming,